Oye, 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 espérate y espérame. Pero vamos a hablar inglés.
No me llama Carlos, ese no es mi nombre, te voy a dar un cocotazo. Tienes que entender que soy muy fino, muchacho. Me da pique porque para ti soy un fracaso. Me da pique porque para los hombres soy Pegaso. Me da pique porque transfoy sobrepaso. Me da pique porque ellos son carrasco. Me da pique porque ellos son carrasco. Un carrasco, dale fuetazo. Un carrasco, dale fuetazo.
¿Qué lo que, mi gente? And welcome back to another episode of the VAMOS HABLAR INGLÉS Podcast. I'm your host, La Reina Taina. And ciao. Whew, it's been a minute. You know, like I said a couple of months ago, the podcast episodes that y'all have been listening to the past couple of months, they've already been preset back in like April. Because a girl knew she was gonna, go through some more trauma. So I was like, let me preset this for y'all so y'all can have this. So I hope y'all had a good time learning about my blog post again. Definitely go check them out at www.larenataina.com. Apologies for the background noise, for the doggies in the background. There's been a lot of different changes, a lot of different life changes, a lot of different things have happened in the past couple of months. But I wanted to take this opportunity to do this month of July moment to kind of talk about Pokemon. Because honestly, reflecting on, again, the point of this podcast, this is the number one podcast for Afrojoteria arts, scholarship, activism, Afrojoteria studies as an academic principle, but also Afrojoteria as a philosophy and as a epistemology, right? A way of thinking, a way of knowing, a way of teaching, a pedagogy as well. So one thing that's a core importance to this podcast is the theories in the flesh, right? Lived experiences. Thinking about Gloria Anzandula and all these great queer and trans Latinx folks that came together and talked about the importance of your lived experience and how lived experience holds equal or even more weight than literature, than written, than diplomas, than all these other things. And, at the end of the day, if we really sit here and think about it, all the things that we have today is thanks to lived experiences, right? When you think about Einstein, if it wasn't for him sitting under the tree, apple hitting him on the head, the whole thing, he wouldn't have taken that much time to focus on gravity and relativity, right? So lived experiences is really important. So every single podcast episode that we have here takes a piece of my lived experiences, a piece of my perspective, and contributes to this larger conversation of Afrojoteria, right? And Afrojoteria being this intersection between queer and trans, Black Latinx, Black Caribbean, and Black indigenous folks of Abayala, right? Of the Americas, of this land that, we now occupy. So yeah, that's why I wanted to take a little 30 minutes. We have a little chatty chat. Get your drink, get your drinky drink, get your agüita, get your tea, get your coffee, whatever you need, get your shmokere, anything that you need, and let's sit back and relax and let's have a conversation about Pokemon. And the reason why I want to bring up Pokemon is not only because I've been playing so much this summer, but really thinking about how and why Pokemon has impacted my life since I was a kid. I've been playing Pokemon for as long as I can remember. I don't even know where to start. It's just like Pokemon was a outlet for me in a way that other things couldn't compare when it came to world building, right? I talk a lot about world building. I talk a lot about using your lived experiences and creating a world out of that, because at the end of the day, everybody's reality is its own world. So emphasizing that reality that we all live, our brains are trapped in their own cranium, right? They're trapped in their own skull, and they're forced to live under that ego. They're forced to live under one perspective, one eye. So what happens when you expand it? What happens when you dream upon that? What happens when you reimagine that brain, right? That mind that is trapped? And I think that's something that is my philosophical self talking about the ego, and this also poetic sense of how we're all really trapped, and we're always going to be trapped, encased in something, whether that is a skull, whether that is flesh, whether that is systemic oppression, whether that is family structures, cultural structures. I feel like in a lot of ways, humanity and being human and living your life really depends on that discovery. and that understanding and building that relationship between that. So with Pokemon, I've been asking myself so recently, like, why did I want to escape so much into the Pokemon world? Why did I want Pokemon to exist in this world? You know, I always used to say as a kid, if there were Pokemons in this world, this world would be a better place. And, you know, and then it was, excuse me, it was funny because I think it was a week or 2 weeks ago where I saw this post talking about how Pokemon is a good example of like a socialist society, and just thinking outside of like government structures, because I don't want to get into that right now. But when you really look at the society that Pokemon lives and rules under, it's very much pro nature, right? Very much in the sense of biomimetic architecture. When you look at Pokemon movies, the Pokemon games, the Pokemon TV shows, there's always this incorporation with nature. There's always this respect and reverence for nature. Not only because of the Pokemon, but when you look at the trees, when you look at how the trees are interacting with the cities and these towns, they're very integrated. And I think something that's really beautiful, oh, there's my little Pokemon phone. And I think that's something that's really beautiful. And when we also think about, you know, the bad guys, Team Rocket and all these other things, like, yeah, there's always, even in a world that's considered perfect or ideal, there's still always going to be this balance between good and evil, because there's always going to be that duality in any facet of any life, any reality. But when it comes to reflecting on the fact that, oh, this is the point that I really wanted to get into. Reflecting on the fact that Pokemon, to be a Pokemon trainer, all you have to do is turn 10 years old. So you're telling me that people like Ash Ketchum, Brock, all these people, they're basically preteens. They're not even teens. They're preteens going all around the world by themselves without parental supervision, ¿verdad? And you know what I mean? It's like they go through their struggles, but the struggles help them grow as people and as individuals. It's not this like someone's getting, you know, abused, other things are happening, all these, is the craziness. And they're always interacting with adults. And I also question so much, and I think that's why when I was a kid I was so obsessed with Pokemon, because I was like, it's not so much Pokemon, it's the way the Pokemon society and the Pokemon world treated children. Because when you really look at society today, and you look at society historically, there has never been not one nation state, right? And we need to remember what the definition of a nation state is, right? Let's do a little definition together, because I think that's super important. Because we're gonna search it up. Absolutely. Because I want us to be on the same conversation. A nation state is a sovereign political country where the great majority of people share the same culture, history, or language and live under one single government. It blends cultural group, the nation, with a fixed piece of land and legal rule, the state. Nation state. So very important distinction. When I'm talking about nation state, I'm talking about the, you know, modern day countries, but I'm also talking about, you know, countries in the 1700s, all these things. These nation states have never, ever, ever truly, collectively, nationally, federally prioritized children. Because when you prioritize children, then you can't prioritize the selfish, greedy interests of those in power. Because obviously those in power are adults. So if, you know, you're going to be on your self-interest, it's going to be in the interest of the adults in power, obviously love, right? And something that's really special about children is that children have that untapped potential of imagination, reimagination, and evolution. Children can evolve at an alarming rate compared to adults. When it comes to learning languages, when it comes to reading books, when it comes to spiritual things, when it comes to their own identity, because they're not limited and bound by the dumbass rules that the society gives us. That when you become an adult, it's like, oh, well, it is what it is. And it's like, no, that was never concrete. Someone told you that shit was concrete and you ran with it. That's on you. ¿Verdad? So yeah, that's the underlying theme that I kind of want to get to in this podcast episode 23. And that's crazy. We about to hit 24. Wow. Time flies. 2 years doing this podcast. One of my longest second longest or longest? This is my longest project, because my second longest is my music, which I have 30 plus songs on all platforms, so go check them out. So yeah, as some of you already know with former podcast episodes, that's why I think so much about children. I think so much about the Pokemon world, because I grew up in domestic violence household, right? I grew up in this normalcy of violence and poverty and abuse and neglect and gaslighting and manipulation, and abandonment. And this is something that every child faces in this society. It's not just the really, really traumatized children. It's all children. Children are not prioritized. You cannot tell me that there is a country that truly prioritizes. You can't, oh yeah, but in Portugal, they leave their kids in the stroller. And oh, but in Finland, they have the best education. That's not the point. That's not the point. Because what I'm talking about, real liberation, real freedom, is the same shit that all the women be talking about, all the black people be talking about, all the trans people be talking about, all plus size people be talking about, all disabled people be talking about. It's autonomy. Children are not prioritized because in order to prioritize children properly, you have to give children autonomy. No, bitch, I'm not talking about, oh, let kids do whatever the fuck they want, do all the drugs. No, that's the problem. And that's the decoy. That's the surface level decoy that mainstream people, mainstream media loves to get into. Oh, if you give children autonomy, then they're going to do all these drugs, they're going to have sex, and all these kids going to get pregnant. No, baby. No, baby. No. That's the bullshit. You have to see through that shit. And you have to understand that, again, the untapped potential, the ability that children have to reimagine, to reconnect, to rebuild. That's something that adults don't fucking have. And that's something that a lot of adults had to work their ass off to remember and recall, just so that they can have it in their adulthood. You feel me? That's why I think it's really interesting that Gen Z, that's in between ages 20 to 30 right now, we are reflecting that, right? We are living in that age regression where we're reflecting on, our positionality in this world from a stance of age. Because I think wisdom has shifted. Wisdom used to be only for the old folk, but wisdom has shifted. Wisdom has moved to the young folk. And I'm a true believer of that. There weren't no damn boomers in their 20s talking the way that I talk. And that's point blank. Talk about this existentialism, this nihilism, epistemology. Like, y'all niggas wasn't using these words at 20. Fuck out of here. And then y'all the same motherfuckers talking all this shit. Talk about how, but this generation is impulsive. They can't keep a job. This, that, and the third. Really, my nigga, when we over here philosophizing everything. Let's talk. For real, let's talk. Let's talk the real shit. Not the dummy shit. Let's talk about how it's extremely uncomfortable. And I'm not even gonna touch upon the Epstein files. I'm not even gonna touch upon how statistically the United States of America, despite them having the greatest military, despite them being the quote unquote richest country in the motherfucking world, they are responsible for the most missing children on the planet. Did you know that? Number 2 is India with 96,000 a year missing children. Number 1 is the United States with almost 500,000 missing children a year, with 2,300 children missing every single day. So you tell me, my nigga. You tell me. What are y'all doing? Deadass, what are y'all doing? How the fuck y'all the richest country, the quote-unquote safest country, but not only you have 500,000 children being lost every single year, but you have 25% of the world's prisoners. Notice that shit. It's all connected, guys. The most people that get incarcerated on the planet are in the United States due to the prison industrial complex, the military industrial complex, mass incarceration, thanks to Reagan. You feel me? So let's start there. We really gotta stop talking about all the irrelevant shit, all the rah, all the but trans this, trans that. No, what about children? Because every motherfucker that want to talk about something else, they always want to bring up kids, but they never talking about kids for real. All the pro-choice want to talk about kids. All the this want to talk about kids. All the anti-abortion want to talk about kids. Everybody want to talk about kids on both sides. Democrat establishments want to talk about kids. But then y'all not doing shit for kids. You're not doing shit for kids. And no, bitch, I'm not talking about free universal pre-K. The fuck is that gonna do? I'm sorry, but let's be realistic for a second. You feel me? Like, we gotta zoom out. I'm talking about zoom out. What are we really doing? Look at all the years. What are we really doing? All over the world, not just the US. There is no prioritization for children. And the number one thing to prove that further is climate change. None of y'all niggas give a fuck about children. Because if y'all gave a fuck about children, y'all wouldn't have destroyed the planet the way y'all have. Though now it's at a point that it's irreversible. Y'all don't give a fuck about children. Don't tell me you give a fuck about children. You don't give a fuck about children. Y'all niggas are too busy building your bunkers because y'all are so set and ready that this planet's gonna die. Instead of taking that motherfucking money and actually putting it into shit that can support this planet's regeneration. Because I hope y'all know, at the end of the day, this planet is still going to live with or without us. What's ending is us. Y'all understand that, right? And yes, thousands and thousands of other species are going to go with us because at the end of the day, a lot of these species have been domesticated and they have created bridges with us. So that's going to impact them. But that don't mean that Earth is going to disappear. All right? Earth is a big-ass floating rock. She be all right. She be all right. She going to be all right. But the problem is that it's us. You feel me? So that's the ego of it all too, because it's really like people are like, oh, let's save the planet. No. That's another thing too. It's not let's save the planet. It's let's save the planet for us. So, feel me? So going back to that, bringing back the ego, because again, the ego is not always bad, because we need to use the ego to protect the fucking kids. So how can we prioritize kids? By prioritizing climate change first. Because what the fuck is the point of having kids or raising kids if there's gonna be no planet for them to live on? Feel me? So yeah, real quick, let's hop on Pokemon. All right, but yeah, I'm telling y'all, let's focus on the kids. So I have my little Pokemon and my little hacked Android phone, and we are playing Pokemon Ultra Moon. You know, when they decided to culturally appropriate Hawaii. Ya tú sabes. So, I'm going to tell you all the Pokemon that I have right now. And obviously I hacked this, so, because I'm the queen with this shit. I love hacking this shit. I love putting my little rare candies and ting, you know? Don't you just love that? I'm a Twitch moderator right now, and I'm thinking about using my Twitch to solely play Pokemon and just like play Pokemon, and then also have parts of it where it's like ASMR. So like instead of me commenting, because I want to have stuff where I'm commenting, but I would also love to just do ASMR where it's just this. You hear that? So I could just do like, and it would be like music in the background and shit. You feel me? I don't know. I just love Pokemon. This is my way of age regressing. So I will be leveling up my Pokemon while talking with you guys. Sorry. Let me lower this, because I know that shit louder than the motherfucker. So it's literally that, y'all. It's literally that. Like, and it's so funny because I spent the whole month, I was like, what the hell do I want to talk about? And I was down bad, fam. I was in a little, you know, because y'all know, you know, I have bipolar 1, I'm on the spectrum, and I have ADHD. So, you know, that's a triple whammy right there. That's a, whew. So it's draining. And then, you know, I don't know, did I give updates about this? But I finally got a job, finally. It was a part-time job, now it's a full-time job. I was able to get a promi. So, you know, now I have a full-time job. A year ago, I mean, y'all know, y'all can literally go a year back. A year ago today, I was homeless and jobless. So to come back a year later, it feels good. I feel proud of myself for sticking it out, and despite hundreds and hundreds of job rejections, I still continued applying. So I'm proud of myself for that. And estamos aquí. Now we're just trying our best. And moving forward, what else? Oh, stay tuned for this November. We're gonna do another Red Print album. Remember that the Red Print album is broken up into 5 series, and every single year on my birthday, November 14, we're gonna be publishing a new album. And the way that they're gonna work, they're gonna be fluid. Right now, I have about 7 to 8 songs for Red Print number 2. Let's see. My Trump beak is evolving. Period. Pero so Red Print number 2 is coming. November 14. We're still in the process of finalizing some tingmings. The theme is the reprint. It's revolution. It's revolutionizing our mind, revolutionizing our soul, revolutionizing our society, but starting with ourselves first. And every I was gonna say episode, every album is gonna act as its own like theories in the flesh, really, its own thing. And we're gonna, she's gonna do her thing. She's gonna reflect a lot on what happened this year. So that's why I don't want to reveal too much. Ooh, she want to learn Beak Blast. Beak Blast. I'm telling you, the new generation Pokemon stuff, it be killing me sometimes. Should I get rid of... But don't we need Rock Smash? So right now, my Trumbeak evolved to a Toucanon. I got Aerial Ace, Flame Charge, Fly, and Rock Smash. I forgot if in Ultra Moon, Rock Smash is not necessary. Can I forget this move? Oh, I can forget Rock Smash, so clearly it's not necessary. So I got rid of Rock Smash. Because Beak Blast is when that nigga Beak get like, it turns into a cannon basically. And so that's pretty cool. I saw that in an episode. On my Twitch, I would also love to do like a live stream watch of Pokemon movies. That would be fun too. I would just love to like over time just create like a community of Pokemon folk. Not necessarily queer folk. I just want Pokemon because I'm gonna be on. Am I really gonna get into that politics right now? I am. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I just want people. I'm very, 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 very sick and fucking tired of the queer and trans community. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. I've been on my own. I have not been in no organization, no nothing. I'm sick and tired of all of y'all. I'm sick and tired of it. Because every single one of y'all is all neoliberals. I just can't with that shit. And then y'all all bitches talk about, oh, I'm decolonizing. None of y'all bitches are decolonizing. I'm sorry, what the fuck? Like, I'm sorry, especially queer and trans Americans. Bitch, you're very far from that. I'm sorry. You're very far from that. I'm so sorry to tell you, but you're very... Oh, Drill Pack. How much is Drill Pack? 80. Okay, get rid of Flame Charge. But now she has all flying. That's so stupid. Oh, and I got me a Raichu because I have a cheat that steals people's Pokemon. Be talking about ethics in an ideal world, and I'm over here stealing people's Pokemon, right? Pero this shit turned left. This podcast turned left. What was I talking about before? Let's get back on track. What was I talking about before? Hold on. And we're back. I was talking about Twitch. And I got sidetracked about the alphabet community. No, but I mean, it was bound to happen because my mind is just too expansive for certain people. But the point is that I want to, in my Twitch, be able to do stuff like that, like, because I already have a Discord too. I would love to create like another like Discord channel specifically for Pokemon. And it's that, y'all, like, be around people in general. I don't give a fuck what your identity is. Just don't piss me off. And that's it. And we just do Pokemon. Just talk about Pokemon. Pokemon everything. Pokemon strategy. Pokemon. Where the frick am I supposed to go? My little, my Rotom Dex. Tenemos que ir para allá abajo. ¿Cómo vamos a llegar para abajo? Damn. Bitches gonna have me traveling. Alright, let's travel. Pero nah, because I can't even fly even if I wanted to. I gotta go this way, ¿verdad? Okay. It would be nice. Because I feel like long term, like when I'm 30, 40, I would love to just have like a nice, robust community. A nice, robust community. And nah, fam, it's just that. I want more respect for children. My inner child needs it. My poor inner child, she like, why are these people so mean? These people don't give a fuck about children. Because if you really give a fuck about children, you would give a fuck about everything else. You feel me? I don't know how else to like explain that to y'all. But there's just no ethics around children, man. There's no ethics around child actors. There's no ethics around... oh my God. What we gonna do, y'all? Let's brainstorm it. I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna try to... It's me trying to get to this little flag thingy, but how am I gonna get into this little flag thingy if I can't get through it? Am I supposed to go through here? Open sesame. Anyways, I think I'm gonna leave it here, y'all. And verdad. So stay tuned. We have our, not a wingle. No, I already had a wingle. Stay tuned for another podcast episode. The next episode I think is 24, so we're gonna celebrate that. We're gonna do a little podcast reflection, and then also stay tuned for November and for every November up until 2029, because that's when the 5th album is gonna be, put together. And then also stay tuned because your girl is writing a book, her first book / memoir / like philosophical, epistemological, pedagogical work of art. You feel me? So yeah, I gotta be ready for that. And again, just reflect on the children, do your own research, and you'll see. Like, I talk like this because I studied 4 years at Brown University, international relations, international public affairs, and then after that I spent the rest of my time doing my own investigative research regarding these social issues, all these different social issues, and it always goes back. Every single time I try to trace everything, it always goes back to children, always. So reflect on that. Let's really take time to give bodily autonomy to children. You feel me? And then in the future, we'll talk more in detail. We'll bring books in, we'll bring in more stats and stuff, and then we'll do more, like, we can even workshop and world build together and do a little workshop where we build an ideal world for kids. That'd be nice. So yeah, I'll leave y'all with that. Como siempre, vete con Dios. Don't forget to check out my website at www.lareinataina.com. That's www.lareinataina.com. I have my podcast every month, the Vamos Hablar Inglés Podcast. I have my 30 plus songs. My most recent album is reprint number 1. So, La Première Révolution. So go check that out. I also have other albums like Toca Corazón, which is also a really good one. And also I'm an Ox Now, which is my debut album, which is obviously foundational piece, the beginning of everything. And ¿qué más? Stay tuned. In 2030, during those years, we're going to be publishing a lot more books, something that I've been wanting to do since I was a little kid. I'm an OG Tumblr, Wattpad, Substack girly. So ya tú sabes, be ready. Y nada, stay bright, stay beautiful. Y como siempre, vete con Dios. Y que Dios te da sabiduría, amor y salud.
No pasa nada, yo veo agua, meneo culito como Tyler, amor profundo como Haya, flow